everyone, welcome to a new video. This is actually my second video related to the new year 2023, and if you're like me, then you love planning, and a new year has always something magical and fresh around it. It's a new chapter of your life. For me, in the beginning of the year, there's a lot of inspiration, a lot of motivation to start the year right. We can set some personal goals and some tasks that we want to accomplish this year. This video is all about planning and setting goals for 2023. So grab a drink, a tea, a coffee, whatever you feel comfortable with, and let's get started. So for me, what is always really important before starting to set goals for the new year is to look back and reflect on the year ahead. So what happened in 2022? What I do first is I have my bullet journal and my normal diary, and I love to do like a page of 2022 reflection. Who's also a very big and good YouTuber all around planning and setting goals and reflecting is Lavender, and I get a lot of inspiration out of her videos. What I did here is I just opened my journal and I like to decorate a bit with washi tape that I have around, so I just taped some random washi tape on the corners and wrote down 2022 reflection. It's about being really honest to yourself and to look back on your year. And what I really like to do is writing down my highlights first. So I just wrote down my 2022 highlights. It's just nice to have like this overview again and to look back. What I actually did for the right page is I wrote down all the things that I learned about myself, and these can be positive and negative things or neutral things. Like what I really like about life is that we are constantly reflecting on ourselves and also getting to know ourselves. I don't believe that we are ever set in stone. We will get to know ourselves better with every year, and also we are in constant change. So it's just so nice to observe yourself. For me, for example, I wrote down I need some kinds of routines. I feel better when I continue bullet journaling or journaling in general. I need to follow my own little rituals in life. My rituals give me stability, and I could see that because last year I went to Rotterdam for a Erasmus semester and I really didn't have the routine I had in Berlin. To go jogging, for example, was one routine that really lifted my mood. Another little journal prompt I wanted to show you is the wheel of life. So on the next side, what I basically did is I paint a circle, and I do it free by hand. It doesn't have to be perfect at all. This is to reflect on where you stand in life right now. So you paint a circle, then you split it into 8 parts. And you can also decide which categories you like to do. Categories I did were finance. Here you can see how I just write the categories down. And how I said, you can really choose for yourself which categories are important for you. So I wrote down finance, career, physical health, mental health, spirituality, and personal growth. This all goes together for me, kind of, so I like to put it into one category. Then friends and fun, love, and then my creativities and hobbies, and my family. So now you have to really look at your life and where you stand. Where are you in the present when it comes to your finance and your career? Do you spend a lot of time with your family? Do you see your friends often? And do you have a lot of fun? Then you can just choose a color you like and fill them out. The perfect circumstance would be when the wheel is in balance. Of course, like you would be in a very good place if every category is filled out a lot. This really helps because sometimes when you feel like you're not in a good mental state and then you wonder why, you can just do this wheel of life. And I did this in some situations and I was like, oh, I didn't do anything for my physical health. I didn't do any sports for weeks. That's why I am in such a shitty mood. This is really just to help yourself to figure out why you feel unfulfilled. This is also a good base for setting goals, because you can see in which areas of your life you can still work a bit. Now moving on to the more creative and fun part, I did my bullet journal setup for 2023. Here I'm showing you my bullet journal, and the brand is the Mome, and actually I'm bullet journaling for I think 3 or 4 years. And the first bullet journal I had was also from the Mome, and I was really satisfied with it. That's why I decided to do it again. In the first page you just write down your personal information, and then what I did next is I decorated my first pages of my bullet journal. My friend Greta recently gifted me a book. What I did here is I really liked the pattern on the paper, so I just looked for nice prints and I cut them out. And it's really also about being creative and just let your inner child play around with different materials, with paper, with pens, with colors. So I just taped this washi tape, and then in the end I wrote down 2023, a year full of creativity and action. So for me personally, I feel like last year I didn't take enough action when it comes to being creative and just go with the flow. On the left page again, I made a section for my 2022 highlights, because it's also nice to just have that in your bullet journal and to have like a little throwback of your past year. And then I have a section for the books I read. Moving on to the next 2 pages, I again played around with the paper. On the left side, I wrote down my intention for 2023. So this is also inspired by Lavendare. She always suggests to have one word that you focus on. For example, action, creativity, love, or growth. There are so many possibilities. And then I wrote down, how do I want to grow in 2023? And this is a section where you can look back to in the end of the year and see if you grew the way that you wanted yourself to grow. And maybe you will reflect on it and be like, actually my goals changed. I wanted to be like this in the beginning of the year, but now I see that I stand somewhere else, but I'm happy with my position. Or you can see you didn't accomplish some things, which is absolutely fine. Don't be harsh on yourself. But then you can learn from those, and you can actually take steps in the new year. Take it slow, give yourself time. And on this right side, I put down this salamander. I wrote down less of this and more of this. In the less of this category, you can just write down what drowned you in 2022, things that you don't want to take with you into the new year. For example, for me, I didn't spend a lot of time with myself, so maybe less of saying yes to every event that comes on, but therefore more of staying at home and having like calm evenings with myself. For the next pages, it's all about your goals. The wheel of life that we did before helps to identify where are areas in my life that I actually want to improve. These can be any goals. I like to put down 4 main goals so I can see which task I want to prioritize for the new year. And right below it, I write down smaller goals, and this can be really everything. This can also be like, I want to read in a park, or I want to go jogging in this area of a city. I want to go to this museum. I want to travel to this country. You can just really write down what you want to do in 2023, but be realistic with yourself. What you do with this page is, after you filled in your goals on the left side, for really sticking to your goals, it's good to split them up again. What I like to do is like third my year. Some people like to do it in quarters, but I think in thirds it's actually enough for me. Here you can see how I draw those lines. And this is to create little boxes where I can write down names of books that I read. Down there I wrote also book bingo. Here you can see the book that I'm reading right now. It's called The Untethered Soul by Michael A. Singer. I'm actually only 24 pages in. I must say that I had a bit higher expectations maybe. It's written very, very simple right now, but we'll see. I'm not gonna judge because I'm only in first 24 pages. I'm very curious how this book is going to go. And then I just filled in my first book in the first box. And the idea is that you just fill in the names of the books that you read, and then you can also color the boxes in the end. On the left side, I have like the space for my affirmations. I personally love affirmations, and I do believe that affirmations can change your mindset if you really feel them. It's not about just repeating words, but it's like you really write down things that resonate with you. Moving on to the next pages. Here I actually did something fun. I saw it in some other bullet journal videos. There are so many incredible bullet journal videos out there on YouTube, so definitely check them out. This is an overview of the year where you can just write down important dates. My idea was to cut the right page so that I have this little flip page. You will see it in a minute. So here you can see me cutting the right page. And what I did is just writing down the month of the year. So I outlined the boxes in green, and then I wrote down January, February, March, April, and so on. I also added the little numbers in the bottoms. And here I took my washi tape again. I just love the pattern of this washi tape, and I put it on the edge of the two sides, and then I doodled around a bit, played with the paper again, and as a headline I wrote down year at a glance. Some people like to call it future log. You can call it whatever you want to really. This is just like a calendar for your yearly overview. So this is actually it, my bullet journal setup for 2023. And now I will show you a flip through the pages. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you could find some inspiration for maybe starting a bullet journal or setting some goals of yourself, or even just reflect on 2022 and what you learned about yourself and what you accomplished. I wish you all the best and see you in my next video. Bye!